You know, going back to when I first came to Japan some 30 years ago as a graduate student, I've heard people here talking about the women's problem or the problem of women. And I have a mixed reaction to that. I'm glad that people are aware that there's a problem here and focused on it. But by the same token, I'm frustrated by the framing. I think we have to reframe the question. It's a family problem. It's a problem for society. The issue is, how can Japan more effectively provide opportunities to the 51% of its population that happens to be female? And how can Japan, as a society, ensure that they're fully contributing economically, culturally, and socially? It's not easy anywhere on earth, but the fact is that Japan does lag almost every other developed country, and in fact, many developing countries as well too, in the numbers of women in leadership positions. Now, Prime Minister Abe has laid out a vision for a country in which women can shine, which is good as far as it goes. But with respect, I would suggest it should be reformulated as creating a society in which everyone can shine. Now, how do we get from this vision to making it real? In the workplace, at least, of course, there are a number of steps that companies can and should take. It includes more flexibility for people of any gender that want to take time off to raise a family or maybe pursue their own interests. It involves ensuring that people who come in midstream after some time off can in fact get back into the workplace. That once they step off the professional escalator, the situation that exists now, where it's really hard to get back on, that we move beyond that. And we look for people who are talented at any point in their life development to come back in to the workplace. It involves ensuring there's enough childcare so that men and women, mothers and fathers, and grandparents as well too, can feel assurance that their children are well looked after, allowing them to go back into the workplace. It involves education of men and women, so that we stop thinking about the issue as a woman's issue, and we look at it as an issue for all of us that we need to resolve together. With the exception perhaps of certain Scandinavian countries, there's no real model country on earth. Japan is making strides, but they're starting from way behind in the pack, and they've got to run a lot faster than others, I think, to catch up. And the results, if Japan can truly create the society in which everyone can shine, I think will be remarkable, both in terms of economic productivity, but maybe more importantly, in terms of satisfaction and well-being among the Japanese population. When there's a greater sense that the accident of your gender at birth does not determine your life outcomes, or does not limit your life outcomes, or does not hold you back in any way. To the extent to which we can achieve that, I think that Japan will be a better and healthier society. And of course, the same is true for the United States, where I grew up, or other societies as well. Today, it's a really important role for every company, and I think every society on earth, to be socially engaged and socially responsible. Employees expect it. Young people in particular, but I think employees of all ages want to work at companies that are not just paying them a paycheck, but are contributing positively to the society around them. Japanese companies have always been in the forefront of corporate social responsibility, or CSR. But in recent years, the UN's establishment of the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, have given Japanese companies kind of a central organizing principle almost for many of their CSR activities. And in fact, around Tokyo, you see all sorts of very serious business people with their dark suits wearing that beautiful 17-color, rainbow-looking SDG wreath lapel badge that shows their company's commitment to SDGs. Now, on the negative side, it's become almost a box to check. Now, my company's supporting the UN Sustainable Development Goals, box is checked, we don't have to think about it anymore. I hope that's not going to happen. But I think what's really important for a company to be truly effective in benefiting society is for a company to find what's unique about that company. What uniquely can that company contribute better than other companies to helping out society? Some Japanese companies have done that very well. They focus on their core competencies and find a way to translate that into social good. It's not easy, but it's really worthwhile. And so in this culture in Japan where traditionally there's been a network of mutual obligation and support, companies' participation in that has always been, I think, a Japanese strength. And what I would hope is as the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, remain something important that I think we're all trying to support, the companies not lose sight of the fact that it's really important for them to find something uniquely that they only can offer and find ways to do that, to engage with the society and to contribute to the community.